Blueno the grateful cat. In the heart of a bustling town nestled a quaint little shop adorned with a faded sign that read, Baker's Delight. The aroma of freshly baked bread wafted through the air, drawing customers from far and wide. And overseeing it all was a vibrant orange cat named Board. Board wasn't just any cat, she was the guardian of Baker's Delight. Every morning she would perch herself on the windowsill, her golden eyes watching over the shop like a diligent sentinel. She took pride in her role, ensuring that everything ran smoothly and that the bread was always perfect. The baker, Mrs. Jenkins, was a kind-hearted woman who took Board in when she was just a tiny kitten. Since then, they had formed an unbreakable bond. Mrs. Jenkins would often say that Board was her lucky charm, and indeed, business flourished under her watchful gaze. However, one fateful day, trouble came knocking at the door in the form of a small black stray cat named Blueno. Hungry and desperate, Blueno attempted to sneak into the shop to steal some bread. But Board, with her keen senses, caught the intruder red-handed. Furious at the audacity of the black cat, Board pounced into action, chasing Blueno out of the shop with a fierce growl. From that day forth, she kept a vigilant eye out for any signs of Blueno's return, determined to protect Baker's Delight at all costs. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Baker's Delight continued to thrive, thanks in no small part to Board's unwavering dedication. And yet, amidst the hustle and bustle of daily life, a bond began to form between Board and Blueno. As Blueno grew older, he watched from afar, admiring Board's tenacity and bravery. He realized the error of his ways and longed to make amends. And so he began to frequent the shop, not to steal, but simply to observe from the distance. Years passed and Board grew older, her once vibrant orange fur now flecked with gray. One day, disaster struck Baker's Delight in the form of a fire that threatened to consume everything. Mrs. Jenkins was beside herself with despair as flames licked at the walls of her beloved shop. But just when all hope seemed lost, a familiar figure emerged from the smoke. It was Blueno, his black fur now sleek and shiny, his eyes filled with determination. Without hesitation, he leaped into action, guiding Mrs. Jenkins to safety and helping to extinguish the flames. In the aftermath of the fire, as the townsfolk gathered to offer their support, Mrs. Jenkins couldn't help but marvel at the unlikely heroism of the once wayward cat. And as she looked around at the charred remains of her shop, she felt a gentle nudge against her leg. It was Board, her loyal companion, her faithful friend. And in that moment, as they stood amidst the ashes of Baker's Delight, Mrs. Jenkins knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, as long as she had Board by her side, they would always find a way to rise again. The end.